Happy Motivational Monday, my voiceover friends. Hope you had a good weekend. My weekend started off fantastic. As you guys know, my blood runs scarlet and gray. Huge Ohio State fan. When you grow up around Columbus, Ohio, that's just, it comes with the territory. So I always have been that way. But that game against Texas Friday night, wow. So now it's on to the national championship. So yeah, I'm glad it started off good because from there it kind of went downhill. We had snow all weekend. Vicky and I ended up shoveling the driveway and the walk like 3, maybe 4, at least 3 times over the weekend. Not that I didn't need the exercise, but I don't need to tell you that. What's going on? My name's Bill DeWeese. I am a professional voice actor, voice talent. I've been doing this full time for the past 19 years. I've been a voiceover coach for the past 15 years. And man, I started this channel, what, about 12, 13 years ago? Over 82,000 subscribers, over recorded like over 1,400 videos now, I believe it is. This is a repository of great voiceover information. I hope you will refer back to it often as you make your way in building your voiceover career. And really, the purpose of this morning get together is just to help get you on the right track, get you in the right mindset, get you moving in the right direction as we all kind of move together toward our goal to be more successful in voiceover. A big announcement I want to make: our next live training event is coming up 1 week from tomorrow night, which will be January the 21st, if my math is right, beginning at 8 p.m. Eastern time. It'll be a training on the voiceover mindset, and it will be conducted by Dr. Bana Parker. Dr. Parker is a social psychologist. She is a performance business coach. She works with business executives and helping them to deal with the mental blocks that keep them from performing at the highest level. And I have said this for those of you who are in the voiceover blueprint or have worked with me one-on-one, you've heard me say this so many times. If this isn't right, nothing else goes right. As a matter of fact, I just had that conversation with a friend this week, and we were talking about the importance of having it together here. Because if you're not thinking in the right direction, and by the way, that's no small feat. Just dealing with the negative dialogue is huge. But gaining clarity and moving forward, these are the things that Dr. Parker is going to be, and she's very experienced at this. Will be teaching you so that you can get this clear and get this right. Because when this gets right, everything else becomes so much easier. This is a training you're not going to want to miss. We limited attendance to 100 people so that there's plenty of time for interaction for those who attend the live event. We hope you will. There's a link below in the description so you can get signed up for that, and I hope you'll be there for that. Well, today is Motivational Monday, right? So let me motivate you. I actually have a quote here from it. I remember back in my days of being a college professor and teaching graduate level marketing in an MBA program. Peter Drucker was a name that came up quite often because Peter Drucker is a world-renowned business consultant who said, the best way to predict the future is, can you guys finish it? It's to create it. The best way to predict the future is to create it. What does that mean? Well, it means, it goes back to talking about, we were talking about right before the turn of the new year, the importance of having a sense of direction where you're going to have goals. Let me talk first about the mistake I think a lot of people make. A lot of people make it way too complicated. It's interesting because I'm an MBA and coming from an academic background and teaching as well. The formal business plan, very familiar with it, and they're very complicated. Um, and frankly, in voiceover, I never felt the need to have something so laborious and top heavy and again, just tedious, not necessary. What you need to do is, and I talked about this actually last week, and I'll talk about it again today because now that we're smack dab in the middle of January, this is when people start kind of falling off the wagon. You had high hopes coming in, new year, new you. You had your goals, you had your dreams, and this is when people start dropping, falling away, thinking, "Oh my gosh, well that was hard." Of course, it always is hard. Uh, but the thing is, if you make it complicated, you vastly increase the opportunity or the chances of you failing. You want to make things as simple as possible. And let me just say this again, because we talked about it before, but in case you missed it or in case you need reminded, make it simple. What is the one thing that if you accomplish this year would do the most good and benefit for your voiceover career and for your voiceover business? What is the one thing that if you really focused in on that, you understood it, you learned it, you became familiar with it, you optimized it, you made it to that one thing the best that it could possibly be. What kind of impact would that have on your business? What's the biggest lever that you could pull for the biggest result in 2025? Start with that. Singular focus, in my humble opinion, is one of the most powerful tools in your arsenal. And when you've got too many things going on, too many thoughts rushing around your head, you find yourself bouncing off this wall and bouncing off that wall, and you just don't make any progress. Become singular. What is that one thing? What is that one lever? And once you have that figured out, you'll be amazed at the progress you begin. And you may accomplish that. You may feel that you've gotten, you've really exploited that one thing. You've figured it out. You've done everything you can do. Maybe by the end of January. Well, certainly have two, three, four, five. You can have five ideas, but don't tackle them all at one time. As a matter of fact, while you're working on the first and most important one, don't even think about the others. They're not relevant yet. And I think that's one of the biggest mistakes people make. Grandiose plans with all kinds of steps and ideas and thoughts, and it becomes so convoluted that you can't gain focus. And remember the power of focus? I talked about it a week or two ago when I was a kid, learning that a magnifying glass held the appropriate distance from an object, like a dry leaf. And, with the sun, if you could focus that sun into a pinpoint of energy, it would burn a hole through that leaf. To me as a kid, that seemed like a magic trick. It seemed like the impossible. But it's just a great illustration of the power of focus. And if you guys will do that for this year, and that's really the purpose of this channel and the training that I've done, is to help give you the tools to know what to do so that you can focus in and you can burn a hole, through whatever obstacle is in front of you. You can burn right through that and keep moving forward. So, again, Peter Drucker, the best way to predict the future is to create it. And you create it by figuring out, number one, what you want. And number two, what is the most powerful thing you could do right now to move in that direction? And that's how you get started. And so again, just a reminder here in the middle of January of 2025 to hopefully get you back on track if you're starting to drift. And I mean, hey, we all drift. It's called being human. It's one of the reasons you need to attend this training with Dr. Baina Parker coming up on the 21st, because you're going to have some more tools to keep your head in the game. Because being self-employed is a totally different animal than being an employee. It's a completely different animal because all the responsibility falls on you. You can't put it on a boss. You can't put it on the ownership because you are the boss. You are the ownership. You're the chief cook and bottle washer. You are everything. It is all on you. And that's no small feat, regardless of the size of the business. Doing that and doing it effectively is no small feat. And focus, from my experience and in my opinion, is the most important component of that. Because once you focus, there's nothing that can stop you. Absolutely nothing. If you haven't checked in on the live chat this morning, make sure you do that. Just let me know where you're at and where you're watching or listening. And I want to do some shout outs here. Let's start with Joe in the UK. What's going on? Happy Blue Monday, Bill, says Joe. Joe, good to see you as always. Jim, what's happening in Memphis? John in Denver. Let's see here. We've got Paul in Arkansas, Nephi in Knoxville, Corey in Chilly Whitehall, Wisconsin. Rob says, I'm ready to be motivated to shovel the rest of the driveway so we can get Jill's car out of the garage and not be a one-car family like we have been for the last 10 days. Happy Monday. Rob, and I know you guys got a lot more snow than I did, so I'm not sure that what I said this morning will be of much help to you, but go get them. I believe in you. You can do it. You can do it, but don't overdo it. That's the key. Ethan, happy Motivational Monday to you in Toronto. Terry in Falston, Maryland, where it'll be in the 40s today. See, that's the way you do it. You live in a place where you know that if it's going to snow, it's going to melt in a few days. Where I live is not so much that way. Rusty in the UP of Michigan. Ron in Grand Haven, Michigan. We've got Edward checking in from the Big Apple. Hey, Jolie, it's 40 degrees in Minnesota. That's a great wave. Yeah, that is a great wave there in Minnesota. My goodness. Jackson is tuning in from Salt Lake City. Here's to a fantastic week. Hey, Mary, what's going on in New Jersey? Sarah, hello to you in sunny Kentucky Lake. David in Hamilton, Ontario. Wally from the snowy mountaintop of the I think you meant Blue Ridge Parkway. I said Blur Ridge Parkway in Southern Virginia. We've got Nancy in Yankton, South Dakota. Jason in Nebraska. What a great day. So excited to be here. Well, Jason, we're excited that you are here. Zach, what's up in Fargo? Rudy says, squeaked by Quitter's Day. Quitter's Day was Friday, this last Friday. According to the data, that's when most people stop with their New Year's resolutions. But yeah, you're here, and you made it through, Rudy. Way to go. No small feat. Professor Tracy in Rochester, Minnesota. Bob, in Wadsworth, Ohio. Aaron in Columbia, Missouri. Wayne in Washington. Sled in Newark, Delaware. Jim in Grable, Indiana. John, Rhinebeck, New York. Sirius in Charlotte. Doug in Greensboro, North Carolina. Kirk in Greensville, South Carolina. Jim from the 1/2 inch blizzard in Anderson, South Carolina. Hey, in South Carolina, 1/2 inch of snow is a blizzard, right? Because when you don't have the snow or the ice, not the ice, but the salt and all the plow trucks and all that kind of stuff, it doesn't take very much to shut down traffic. Plus, those drivers just aren't used to that. You know, it's funny because you think up here they would be. The other night I went out to go pick up pizza on Friday night. Oh my goodness, I could not believe how slow people were. They were terrified. First big snow of the winter. I guess they just have to become reacclimated. Denise, hello to you in Long Island. Gene, Dallas, Fort Worth. Rick in St. Paul. Gail in Detroit. Lyle from cold Iowa. Andrew, I hope you are well. I am, Andrew. Thank you. Big fan from Devon in the UK. Andrew, thanks for being here. Appreciate that. Tim, what's up in Altoona? Chris in Lakeville, Minnesota. Good morning from New York City. I'm so confident after your blueprint class paying dividends. Dave, thank you for that. Appreciate that. Amisha, good morning to you in Florence, South Carolina. Keith in Renton, Washington. Scotty in Brookings, South Dakota. Joy from a cloudy, cold Southfield, Michigan. We got GS in Longview. Tim says, my lever of focus is direct marketing for 2025. I think that is a worthy pathway for sure. I'm a big believer in direct marketing. Aaron from Linden, Washington. Phil in Tokyo. Spencer in Houston. Let's see here. From Pre-op in Northern Arizona, listening to your audiobook. Well, thank you for that. Hope things all go smoothly today for all parties involved for you guys. Terry, I recommend reading any information from Peter Drucker. I studied his writings in graduate school. Yeah, man, I mean, his stuff is peppered all through graduate levels, business stuff. He knows his stuff. Scott, let's see. Good morning, everybody from Richmond, Virginia. Jelly says, my most powerful thing is putting in the time, at least 4 hours of dedicated focus time daily, more if possible. Yes. Vince, good morning, Bill from Palm Bay, Florida. I finally made it back to the huddle. Vince, good to see you. Hey, Kirsten, good morning. It's cold in Georgia. Joy says, makes good sense to me 100%. My focus is getting work first by auditioning, next a web page with my contact info. Let's see here. Mateo, Los Angeles. Theo, happy Motivational Monday from the kitchen table in lovely Palos Hills. Let's do this. It's Eddie in San Antonio. Guys, again, thanks for being here. Appreciate you guys. Have a great day. Make sure you go below in the description. There's a link that will take you to the class with Dr. Baina Parker, which is coming up 1 week from tomorrow night. Remember, it's limited to 100 for the live event, so you can ask questions and interact. But this is going to be really powerful stuff. It's really going to help you, again, get the clarity, the focus, get all the stop all this, the negative narrative that runs in your head that tells you you're not enough. Why did you ever think you could do this? Look at everybody. Look how much better everybody else is. Hey, and we all have it, but learning how to deal with it, that's the key. So go click on the link, get all the info, get registered, and I hope to see you there. Have a great day, guys. Talk to you tomorrow.